Welcome back to Film Snob HQ. We're still on the road to Avengers Doomsday. We're 2 films into the MCU, but today we're jumping out of the Disney Paramount Studios part of Marvel back to an independent, or not independent, but just a separate film. We're going back to Sony and Lionsgate, and we're talking about Punisher Warzone, which I'll post up here. I'm going to be positive, but before I do, I will preface by saying that of all the Marvel films I've watched so far, this one's probably my least favorite. It's a film I kind of go back and forth on a lot. Sometimes when I watch it, I really enjoy it. The last few times I've watched it, I found it a little bit of a chore, and I'm not quite sure why. So we're going to talk it through. But let's start with the positive. We've got the late, great Ray Stevenson as Frank Castle. You'll know him as well as one of the Warriors 3 in Thor. And I think of all the Frank Castles, he might be the most miscast. I know a lot of people like this film and liken it to the comic book accuracy, saying that this is very much the Frank they used to in the books. I haven't read a lot of Punisher books, but he's just a little bit too big for my liking. He's very much and I know with a Punisher, I guess you want an intimidating presence, but he's just so big. I just don't feel like he could move as quickly as the Punisher needs to, compared to Tom Jane and John Bernthal. And I feel like a lot of his dialogue is a bit cheesy in this film, but he's good. He's good in it, and he's an intimidating force, to be sure. We've got Dominic West as Jigsaw, who, again, feels more like he belonged in a 90s comic book film. It's very, very much chewing the scenery. It's not bad. It's just we've just come off Iron Man and Incredible Hulk, and now we're kind of going backwards in terms of tone and stuff like that. Julie Benz is in it as well. She plays the wife of a dead cop who gets killed during a raid that the Punisher's on. And we've got Wayne Newman from Seinfeld as Micro, who's quite fun in the role as well. The flick is layered with heaps of mid-2000s new metal, so if you like Rob Zombie and Slipknot, the soundtrack is killer. I quite like the soundtrack. It just feels like it's not really doing anything new or different. All through the early 2000s, we kind of were climbing and climbing with Spider-Man, with X-Men, even with Fantastic Four. And then we really kicked it up a notch with Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. And now it feels like we're taking a bit of a back step. It's a short flick. It's barely an hour and a half. It's like an hour, 40 minutes maybe. And it's plenty violent. It's brutal. It's really brutal. The action is really good. The soundtrack's good. I just really struggle to connect with it. And maybe it's because this is a Frank Castle who we haven't experienced his tragedy. In the previous film, which this is kind of a sequel, but not really. We don't really get too much kind of callback to his origins, so we don't maybe have that same level of sympathy that we do in the first film. And then obviously in the Netflix series Punisher, we get a lot of callbacks to his family, and he kind of helps a family and stuff like that. This one, it just feels a little bit flat in terms of the emotional connection. As far as an action film goes, it's ripped straight out of the 80s. It feels like an Arnie film. It feels like a Stallone film, just a big dude with a gun tearing down bad guys. And in that aspect, it's fantastic. Just for me, looking at kind of the quality of film we've had from Marvel since 1986 as we've been going along, it just feels like a little bit of a backstep. It's not a bad film. It's totally enjoyable. Great popcorn flick. And obviously not part of the official MCU. It is MCU adjacent. I just want a bit more, I guess. But it's still a fine film. Still plenty of fun to be had. If you haven't seen it, check it out, because I'm probably wrong. I'm always wrong. You'll probably enjoy it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. If you haven't seen it, well, give it another go and let me know what you think. But that's Punisher Warzone. Obviously, with him passing away, we will not be seeing him reprise his role in Doomsday or in Secret Wars. Micro, spoilers, gets killed, as does Jigsaw. So no one from this film is showing up in Doomsday or Secret Wars. I'd be shocked if anyone from this film showed up. But it's a fun little piece of Marvel. Next up, we've got Wolverine Origins, or X-Men Origins Wolverine. So I'll see you there.